What's going on, everybody? GemMint here, back with another statue reveal. I'm kind of a couple days late on this because I've had a bunch of statue unboxings that I've been working on, but I wanted to actually put a pause on that and talk about XM Studios' latest symbiote, Carnage, but the Absolute Carnage. Big fan of the recent event miniseries, and I actually did see this as a tease behind the scenes when I was hanging out with XM doing one of their live streams, so I knew it was coming. But now it's public and we have nice pictures to look at, a video clip, so we'll go over those and then I'll give you my final thoughts on the piece. Before I do that though, big thank you to THATSPIDERMANBOOTH for sponsoring the video. If you're not, make sure to follow them over on Whatnot for live daily comic book auctions. You can win some CGC key issues or get some dope exclusive variants by Street Level Hero, their sister site. If you haven't, you can download Whatnot using the link in the description. It'll give you a $10 credit that you can use towards your first purchase. All right, guys, so let's take a look at the first picture. And as you can see, it's Absolute Carnage. It has the Venom emblem on his chest, or the Null Dragon, I should say. And it has the Null logo on his forehead, that spiral. So right away, I mean, from a technique perspective, I like how it looks. I like the red paint. I like the black tendrils kind of going throughout the red. I like the screaming tendrils coming out of his back. So as far as how it was done and the quality, so far I'm liking it. Looking at this next picture, it's more of a larger picture. He's got two blades for hands, and those will have switch outs as well. You have to have those types of weaponry. And this has been confirmed to be Bruce Banner's laboratory as the base here. So you have like this scientific lab, giving a smaller footprint and respecting collector space at the same time. Here's more of an aerial shot. You have that shiny gloss on the fingers right away. I noticed that on his right hand. You can see the Null symbol a little more prominent here on his forehead. The sculpt looks cool. A lot of big tendrils helping him either balance on that base or just part of the design. And here's the side of the statue. This is like the profile of the piece. This is how it looks to me, and maybe how it would be displayed if not forward. So you have this kind of defensive attack position. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the pose after we look at the pictures, but this is essentially what you're getting. And here's from the back. See, you wouldn't really display this way, but you can see how the tendrils key in. Pretty seamless. I think it looks clean. I like the detail and the tendrils. Carnage uses them much more than Venom used to. Close-up portrait, I like how it's done. I think it's hard to translate Carnage from comic to 3D because they'll just black out his mouth and teeth at times, most of the time. Here you can see they have the black teeth, yet you can see the red tongue. I like the shading of the red against the white eyes and just the overall gloss, and it feels alive like a symbiote should. So I think that it's well done as far as the execution of this piece. Here's another kind of angle you could do, a little bit more looking forward. You can hear Carnage screaming in this portrait. The Venom emblem, or the Null emblem, is a nice touch. So here's a look at it. Again, quarter scale if that wasn't clear. You have regular hand switch outs and some weaponry. Another little close-up shot of his face and his chest. You can see that black symbiote kind of dancing within the red. Looks nice. And then here we are, a different angle looking at that outstretched blade. Now XM did put out a small video teaser trailer. Let's take a look at that together. All right, so here we go. Rotating a little bit, you can see its depth. Absolute Carnage, quarter scale. So you can see how those tendrils, and they're screaming as well. The blades for hands. Wrapped around the base, that's a nice touch. The canisters on the ground. His kind of dance. Removing the blades, you could remove the tendrils, it looks like. All right, and that's it. Just a quick little teaser of the statue. You can see it in movement and get a better idea of the angle. So here's kind of like my thoughts on this, and I mentioned this on my last live stream. We're kind of spoiled in the sense that if we would have seen this when we first started collecting, it would have blown our minds.
Oh my god, I can't believe this Carnage is huge, it's awesome.
But now we've been in the game. We got this new Daniel Bell Carnage coming out, to me looking like it's going to be the definitive Carnage. I think XM is smart with going in a completely different direction and doing a different version of Carnage. But here's the problem for me. As somebody who read the entire series, Absolute Carnage, all the tie-ins, this doesn't really scream Absolute Carnage to me. Sure, I think you can get away with it, but I think you gotta go with that kind of spinal cord showing version of Carnage to make him much more different than the regular Carnage, because really it's Carnage with a Venom logo and a spiral on his forehead, right? And I don't think the pose, although it's cool, it's got that little dance to it, it's got a profile, I think they would have been better off maybe recreating the cover for Image 1, something more iconic that screams Absolute Carnage. I think I may have seen this might have been based off of a panel somewhere. I could be wrong, but it just doesn't really scream like, oh, I remember that scene from Absolute Carnage, or that's why I love Absolute Carnage. I do think being a symbiote, it's probably still going to do pretty well. People who collect quarter scale Spider-Man and multiple Venoms and Carnages, it's a different one, so it's kind of a good excuse to get it. I think it'll be well done. I might get a chance to review it. You never know. XM has just actually sent a couple of prototypes that I'll get a chance to review, so maybe we'll check it out one day. I'm kind of leaning more towards 1/3 scale stuff, so it's not something that's really on my radar. Let me know what you think about the Absolute Carnage quarter scale by XM Studios in the comments down below. Thanks to That Spider-Man Booth for sponsoring the video, and thanks for watching, y'all. Stay minty fresh. Peace.